Let's go. All right. Happy Friday, all. Time to get some work done. I had to do it anyway, so why not have a stream, I figure, right? Right. Just talking to myself. Don't worry about me. All right, first thing I think I'm gonna do is kind of shuffle some things around here, so you can watch me do that. Goal for today, gonna try to wrap the rest of these 6 Mark IVs I've got. And I've given myself a lot of workspace, but I think rather than do, I'm gonna think of how I wanna, I'm just surrounded with surface. It's a luxury, it's a luxury. I don't know, maybe it's not bad. I think what's a little bit wonky is my A-cam is not gonna be able to capture this nearly as well. So we're doing the Insta360 for right now. That's fine. And let's flip-flop these because I'm used to having all my tools over here. So workflow. Luckily, everything is on wheels. One of my favorite things to do. If you sit around too long, I will put wheels on you and move you around. So let's maneuver. You go over here temporarily. A little game of Tetris happening as we swivel and pivot and maneuver. Fun thing about having all of these going on at the same time is the amount of space it takes. So sometimes that just requires a little rejiggering of things, which is fine, which is part of the joy of being a maker, constantly refining your workspace, figuring out what works for you. Workflow is so key, so key. All right, let's maneuver you this way. Hey, good to see you. Gianno, you getting all prepped up for Remurf next weekend? I'm pumped. I know you are too. I think you've been printing a bunch. Got a lot of travel coming up here, so that's part of the reason I wanted to kind of keep chugging on get things cleaned up and organized around here. Let's see, we'll put you here. I'm gonna move this plug a second. We're just getting organized, you know. I decided in true maker fashion to reconfigure things the way I like it, because we should always have things the way we like it, right? Right. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to collapse this down. I don't think that's gonna fit like that, but that's okay, we can do that. We have the technology. Watch me transform a table. Little did you know you were gonna get this much excitement today. Dun, 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 dun. I got this table at IKEA probably 15 years ago, and I've beaten the holy heck out of it, but I love it. It is a great multi-purpose surface. It was a good affordable price. It transforms. Who doesn't love a good transforming collapsing table? I figure we're gonna need some extra work area today, so we're just reconfiguring stuff. I'm just gonna basically build myself into a corner here with all of this surface. Look at this. All right, let's see if there's enough battery on the A-cam now. Hey, you have the same dining table. Yeah, it's the old IKEA special. I love it. Okay, this is the one I built with ModBot the other day. And we're gonna get this guy out of the way because he's done. But we won't put him too far because it's a good reference. Not that I don't really know what they look like by now, but forgive me as I just maneuver us just a touch, getting things the way I like it. You'd think I'd have been better prepared, but again, this was an impromptu stream, which means Pooch does everything last minute. And I know you can relate. We plugging stuff in. We moving power. I don't know if we're gonna need power. We'll see. We'll see if we get to actually powering everything on. What's everybody working on today? Good to see you guys. Aaron, Mike, Vishal. Tell me what you're up to on this this Friday. Jano, yeah, you're excited for next week. Good. He's gonna be at Remurf. Who else in the chat's going to Remurf next week? Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. The Festivus for the rest of us. The Festivalis. Let's see. This is what happens when you move your marks around. Let's see if I can reconfigure my angles. Bear with me, coming. I'll be right back, don't worry. It's a little off. It's okay, we can, whoop, come back. There you go. All right, I'm gonna try to get the OBS bot going again. Came across an interesting snag with my A-cam here. Apparently, it's got a built-in battery, which is really cool if you're like doing content on the go. But I left it on and it drained its battery all the way down to 0, but I have it plugged in now, and apparently it's like taking just a little bit more power than the computer is able to charge it through the USB, which I thought was an interesting issue. So right now you're looking at me through my Insta360, which I also love. I love my little PTZ cams. If you've been on any of the other streams recently, you've heard me talk about that. But I'm thinking maybe we have enough juice to power up the OBS bot because I can get a wider angle on that guy, which will be helpful. And hopefully it can just maintain enough charge to go. That's a little bit of a strange engineering, or a strange design, I suppose, to have it use more power than it can charge on. So it's like relying on that battery. Strange. All right. Oh, we got some first timers. Aaron, first time Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. That's a good one to pick. Are you a Denver local, or is that just the closest one to you? Let's see. All right, we're connected. Can you see me now? Whoop, that's not the right angle. It's my ceiling. That's what my ceiling looks like, guys. Okay, we're gonna kill that. Here I am. I'm gonna re-aim the gimbal. Not that. Let's see that preset. Here we go. All right, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're just gonna tweak it a touch because we don't need to see all the behind the scenes. And try to get as much view. It's just me pinched between tables. What do you think? I mean, it's all about surfaces, right? We gotta have all the surfaces. That's too close. Just angle down a touch. I've been playing with ceiling mounting everything, which I love because I can just like leave it mounted, but the pipe clamp, I don't know, I still seem to be bumping things a little bit, so I'm sorry I wasn't better prepared for this, but that's okay. I'm having a good day chatting with everybody. Mr. Adam, good day to you, sir, and good evening to Mr. Gibson. You guys, I missed everybody because I didn't do a Maker That Money stream this morning, so I figured I gotta get on the interwebs and hang with my peeps. I'm glad to see so many of you guys. Girari, happy Friday. It's Friday. It is Friday. It is Friday. It's the plight of the home office worker, the self-employed. We don't even know what day it is half the time, which is always funny. I know I'm looking off screen as I configure stuff. I'm gonna pull up the build guide. I'm gonna check, make sure we've got all the instructions we need. Yes, believe it or not, I do not have it memorized yet, even though I've built so many of these. So let's just get all the things we need. And you guys in the chat, tell me what you guys are building. What is everybody building? What are you, I mean, even if you're not building, what are you working on? I know everybody's working on something. It's Friday. I was really productive this morning, so I decided to reward myself with a little hands-on time. Yeah, thank you, Mike. I'm glad you're here for your pooch fix. I aim to please. All right, I've got my, let's put that over here. Boom. Let's see, this monitor. Let's put our build guide over here. It's good, so I can like, here. We can change cams if we need to. I'll put my little streamy deck over there. That's good. How's the sound mix, by the way? I think I got my stream beats, or my Epidemic sound cranked up. I'm getting a lot in my ear. I don't know if it's, how's the mix down sound? Give me a thumbs up if you feel like my levels versus the background audio is okay. Aaron's finishing up a Trident 250. That's a fun build. I did a Trident 300 with homeboy Steve Builds. Also gonna be at Remurf with the Voron team, and they're bringing some goodies to see. So that's gonna be fun. That is a fun build, that is a fun build. Mix is good, says Alex. Thank you, I appreciate that, Alex. Okay, I got some tools, I got some machines, I got some space, I've got my parts. I'm gonna grab one more box that's got good, you guys should see off camera. I've got this bin full, it's like the boneyard of Mark III. You wanna see the boneyard of Mark III parts that I've created? It's almost tragic. It's almost tragic, but I mean, like something good will come of it. I just haven't decided what yet. So let me show you that real quick because it's funny. I pin myself in. Look at this. Oh, I'm gonna throw my back out, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that bin. This is almost full of all Mark III. Well, and I got rid of like a lot of the printed parts that were cracked or worn or whatever. I'm not saving the printed parts, but I mean, I got, what do you need? It's like, welcome to Pooch's Bazaar of Mark III. We've got Z's, we've got Einstein boards. You need an LCD? I got an LCD. I got all the LCDs. I got everything you could possibly need. Come one, come all. Let's see. And we're gonna definitely need this box. And then we're gonna have everything. And then we're gonna build some stuff. Slip in there. But this is it. We're moving to the next gen. Mark IV stuff. So out with the old, in with the new. Whew, I wish I could just do that. I don't wish I could just do that. That would be scary. We'll put it back here. Back here for now. Yeah, I know, right? It's a little ridiculous, Jano. That box is at least 10 rigs worth. And again, like it's not the frames, it's not the biggest, bulkiest stuff, but it's like all the motors, the X gantries, the electronics, some of the wiring, some of the, I was a little haphazard with tearing them apart. So like some of the ribbon cables, because they're not as routed as nicely as with the Mark IV. They were jammed in the extrusion, and when I was tearing them out, it like stripped part of them or whatever. So I just kind of held on to what I thought was reasonable. Okay, so today on Build and Chat with Pooch, we're gonna work on some extruders. That's the next gen extruder on the Mark IV. It's a nice little piece of kit. It's It's got a handy dandy load cell, which is starting to become pretty common with next gen stuff, and it's really cool because you can print on pretty much any surface, anything you can get plastic to stick to. But you can put textiles down, you can put paper down. I mean, you can print on some wacky stuff, which is pretty fun and opens up some really new and interesting creative possibilities. So I'm just grabbing my boxes and bags of Nextruder parts. Let's see in the chat, what's some other things people are working on. Hey, Silver Bear. Cookie. Let's see. Cookie's working on his third PLA-supported PETG print on the XL at the moment. Okay, cool. Yeah, how is that working for you? I know a lot of people have been doing the mixed mode supports, which is like a dream for removing, because PLA and PETG do not like to stick to each other, but they can make great support materials for each other. So if you have a machine like the XL or a dual extruder that can do two different types at the same time, it is a cool use case for that. Let's see. Alex, you've got some old BQ headphones that could use Mark III bits to unlock usefulness. Well, let's chat, man. You know I'm always happy to support people's little projects, and I would much rather they went to something fun and exciting like that than just taking up space here. I have sold a couple of the Einsteins that for people that are just looking for, you know, replacements or spare parts for things. I think the Mark III is still quite a very capable platform. We're still running quite a few of them, so it's like I'll hold on to some of the stuff for spare parts. Sorry about the clinking and the clanking. I finally consolidated all the various boxes down. Here's the other thing we're gonna need. We got these. I don't know if it's fair to call them a pancake stepper, but the extruder, the Nextruder extruder, has a geared shaft on it. I'll get a close-up of that for you guys in a second if you want to see what that's all about. And I got 4, and I need 6 of each of these things. So anyway, part of the challenge with consolidating everything is it's creating some digging as I prepare. But you guys are cool with that, right? Like we can hang out while I get ready. Half the battle is just getting ready sometimes. And I'll be all set just in time to have to go clean up the kitchen, go pick up my kids, all that stuff, right? That's the way it always goes. Okay, I got my 6 steppers. I've got my 6 box of Nextruder parts, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 bags of Nextruder bits. Let's see, I'm gonna need 2 more baggies. And where are you guys? Let's see, Nextruder, shuffle, ruffle. I know, it's terrible. You guys can blame Pooch for not being prepared. But this is funsy time, guys. Oh, here's one, okay, 5. You know what, I have a sneaking suspicion I stole one of the Nextruder bags out of here. That I took to the shop earlier, which is okay. Because I have another box over there. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not making eye contact. I'm not trying to. Oh wait, no. I lied. It's here. Okay, 6. Okay, we're doing 6 units today. We can get that out of the way. All right. When is Pooch ever prepped? You know, sometimes I'm pretty good about being prepped, but this was an impromptu, kind of last-minute stream thing. I figured, why not slow down the work that I need to get done by, you know, doing a stream at the same time? But I'm like, if I've got to do the work anyway, why not do it with some friends? I really had a blast this week with ModBot and in the past with Steve. I think building is just so much better with a buddy. And so yeah, so thank you for joining me with that for that. Let's see. Adam, I'm really glad to hear you're liking the REVO 6 on your Mark 3S Plus. We went to all REVO on the Mark 3s, and that was a big decision for me because I do not like modding my production machines. But I determined that was a worthwhile. We were changing nozzles so often that was a very worthwhile upgrade, and it was, and it still continues to be. Like I said, we still run a bunch of Mark 3s. We're moving over to Mark 4s and enclosing everything, which is great also. We did a Mark 3.5 upgrade. I don't know if you're around for that, but that was great because I can still keep my REVO and not lose like all that investment I've had in all the bits and bobs for REVO. But because the Mark 4 has a breakout board on it now, affectionately known as the Love board on the Mark IV, and it's called the Dwarf on the XL, but they're both breakout board based. That makes it really easy to swap out the entire core of the extruder. So there's a lot of people. I don't know if you've followed like Mikolas Zuza or whatever. There's a mods or a little print so you can do a quick change on the nozzle. Based on how inexpensive the nozzle and the heat break and the thermistor and the cartridge are, I have found it much easier to just drop that whole thing and then put in a whole new assembly. It's just a speed change. If it ever gets clogged and it's not something I can quickly feed, drop the whole thing off, work on it on the bench, put on another one. I just look at them as consumable parts. And then I have different colored socks to really quickly visually indicate. I copied the REVO color scheme. So red is 0.4, blue is 0.6, green is 0.8. And that I found has worked best for me, but I know that, you know, not everybody wants to spend that kind of money, and that's required an investment in a whole different set of parts. So they're obviously not interchangeable. I'd be really, really curious to see if REVO can come to the Mark IV. I know it can. It's just a question of, of who's going to do it and how sanctioned maybe that'll be. But I think it's interesting. Prusa obviously decided to go its own path, but I think it's well known now too that E3D still makes the snoobs or some of the snoobs, which is the heat break and the nozzle combination. So there's a stainless steel tube that's basically press fit in, there's a piece of copper, and then there's the brass nozzle, and it's all one assembly now, which is really nice because you don't have to worry about shearing off the heat break like you did in days of old and whatnot. But yeah, okay, enough chitty chatty. Let's build some stuff. All right, we're in the step, for those of you following along at home, we're on step 5 of the Mark IV assembly. That is the Nextruder assembly. So last we left our hero, just to show you real quick, we have our frame. We did the Z-axis, we did the X-axis, we did the board mount and all of that stuff, and everything's gliding smooth here. And so now we're going to work on building the extruder, and then after that comes the LCD assembly and the Y-axis, and then we're hopefully done. I don't think we're gonna get all that done today. Let's be honest. I'm getting buzzed, which means that it's somebody overriding it's my son deciding if he needs a ride, if he's gonna do his. My son is 14 now, and so he's full of teenage angst, and he and his buddies like to walk to the shopping plaza after school sometimes, and so he was just letting me know that he was doing that instead of needing to be picked up, which is awesome, which means I have a little bit more time to stream with you guys. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna get all of our guys lined up. Now, thankfully for the next extruder, a lot of the build happens off of the rig, so I should be able to lay out a bunch here. Should I angle down a touch more so you can see the build surface? Why not, right? We have the technology. Gimbal. Oh, and as soon as I said that, one of my machines in the other room started beeping because it needs filament. I'm gonna kill that beep. Feed me! Feed me, it says. All right, no more beepies from you. Okay, I'm back. Who missed me? Just a reminder for everybody to hydrate. I do not drink nearly enough water. I stole that move from my buddy Joel. He's a big proponent of hydration. Nobody likes hydration as much as Joel Telling. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds true. Yeah, we wing it all. That's right, Jano. All right, let's build. We got our tools. All right, we're gonna start with the filament sensor. So let's see, what I'll do is clear this out so I can toggle between my zoom cam. Oh, we gotta re-aim that zoom cam. 1 second, please. Find out where my mouse is. So we got 2 monitors. So all right, we do this one time. So we're just gonna reorient the gimbal on this. And gimbal control and come on. No, I have not been drinking. Here, I'll just I taped out a little aim. Fine control. Here we go. There we go. We'll just use the little tape out center. This was from the stream last time, but at least I have a sense. I put something here and you guys can see it zoomed in. So we're gonna save that as our position 2 preset, and I just borked it. Ooh, look at how warm it makes the wood. Isn't it just great watching how the sausage is made? There, that's aimed, and we're gonna right click and update instead of clicking it. All right, position 1, that's me. Position 2. 1, near, far. Main cam. All right, look at that, look at that. All right, we're gonna bust open the box. We're gonna put you over here for now, buddy, while we work. And we can get in even closer. Maybe one day I'll do like a pooch cam. What do you guys think of that? Because like I was playing with that. I can actually, I've got one of those chest mounts for like the GoPro or your phone. And I use this program called Camo that links to my iPhone. And it looks so good. And it's got a lot of control. And it looks silly from here where I just like have my camera bolted to my chest like Iron Man. Actually, that'd be a cool mod if I could figure out how to make it look like a... Not a flux capacitor. What is wrong with me, man? I gotta turn in my nerd card. What is Iron Man's little fusion core called? Again, Pooch. What is it? It is a... Oh, so you guys yell at me in the chat. Who's yelling at me in the chat? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Trash. See, I'll tell you right now, when you're building anything, the having your trash handy is just a big part of the battle. All right, let's look at the close-ups of what we got here. Pull that out of there. And switch to that and switch to that. All right, so we've got our load cell. We got our heater core assembly. This is what I was talking about, the core assembly. So this is the whole unit. I'll end up dropping out, so I'll just create a 0.4 core assembly, a 0.6, a 0.8 for now. But the other nice thing about this is there's adapters, so I can still use the old V6 style. So if I want to put a CHT or a hardened nozzle or any of those things, like I can certainly do that as well. We got that. We've got the thermistor that goes into the load cell. And that is what's in the next extruder box. So the first thing we need is our next extruder heat sink. And then in the baggie of next extruder parts, we need, oh, this is a lot of tiny bits, So the other things it's asking for, a little spacers. Channel my Ivan Miranda. We got some thummy screws. That's for holding the whole thing in place. So we got quick release now, which is kind of cool. We got all these little bits and bobs that we're gonna need in a second, and some springs, and some magnets, and some ball bearings. So the tiny stuff they've got in these little cases here, magnets, little tiny ball bearings. Don't worry, you get extras of each. And then they actually print the fan shroud for you at the farm in Czech Republic out of ASA. It is a nice print. Not everybody obviously has the ability to do ASA well, and that's a critical temperature sensitive part, so that's provided for you. So that's all of the bits and bobs that go into the next extruder assembly that we're gonna work on today. So now you've seen that. Arc reactor just came to me, like duh. Everybody knows Iron Man has an arc reactor. Yeah, some kind of mod so I can obscure my pooch cam. But then you can follow my hands and see how it builds. I don't know, maybe that's a little bit too intense, but I feel like sometimes with all of this and shuffling around, it's just really hard to see what's happening, especially when you're doing blackouts like I am, where there's a lot of black on black parts. So, who knows, maybe we'll add that in the future. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, I'll get in close here. Speaking of just changing angles on you, I'll get in a little tight here. Oop, keep it in front of me that way. Focus. Image. The autofocus on this little gremlin is a little not good. I think there needs to be some sort of firmware update or something, but infinite? No, I can't do infinite. That's pretty good. All right, we'll go with that. Girari, I love swapping out the nozzles the way on the XL. Now the wires are the same between the XL and the Mark IV when swapping them out. Yes! Exclamation point, Girari. The length of the thermistor wire on the XL cable and the heater core wire is like a touch longer because the dwarf board on the XL is slightly higher up. So it does stretch, like I have put a Mark IV one on the XL, but XL definitely goes to, so you'll have a little excess if you go from XL to Mark IV and back and forth. I wish they would just pick an in-between length that was just swappable between the two, but the teams that did the design, I don't think were like fully coordinating at the same time when that was being designed. All right, so what we're doing right now is we're putting the little Hall sensor for the filament sensor. We're mounting that into our load cell here. Just gonna clear some stuff out of the way. Should we go close up view? There we go. I'm gonna build, and I think what I'll do is I'll get these guys out. So I'll try to do a couple steps. My process when I'm building in serial is I'll try to do a couple steps, do all 6, and then go back and then do a couple more steps and whatnot. I haven't fully optimized this process yet, but okay, that's the plan. Okay, we need a M2.5 by 6 RTs. I've got those right here. I know that because I labeled it, because I'm a dork. There we go. So that's the one I need. And I've got my, oh man, fat fingers. And I got this. So we're gonna get all those things ready. And 2 load cells. Bye-bye. And 3, 3. I'm sorry I'm not knolling them out perfectly for you guys. Can you just be copacetic with that though? We're just flying by the seat of my pants the way I always am. So if you're not making it to REMURF next weekend, tell me when the next time I might see you or what travel plans you have. Maybe I won't see you, but maybe you're going somewhere fun. We've got a lot of events coming up. I'm doing a lot of travel in the coming month. This next week I'll be in 3 cities in something like 5 days. So I've got a quick trip to LA, then I'm gonna be in REMURF, Denver, and then right after that it's up to Seattle again to hang out with a lot of my Seattle homies for some for a Microsoft event. And then next month, I'm gonna be back at the mothership in Prague to go to Maker Faire Prague. Maker Faire Prague, one of my favorite, if not, I think it is my favorite, all-time favorite Maker Fairs. If you ever have a chance, obviously if you ever have a chance to go visit Prusa headquarters, you gotta do it. It's just such a wild thing to behold. But beyond that, the Maker Faire that they have there every year I think, Joe tells me it's because a lot of the exhibitors that are there, you know, and the culture in the Czech Republic, because it's an ex-Soviet state, there's just a lot of like having to make do with what you have available. And that creativity shines through with a lot of the people that go to their Maker Fairs. And I would have to agree with that statement based on what I saw when I was there pre-COVID. I got to go in 2018. I did not get to go last year, but I will get to go this year, and I'm very, very excited for that. So I recommend it. Put it on your bucket list. If you ever have the chance to go to Prague and to Prague Maker Faire, Pooch recommends. Let's see. Oh, good. Additive Adam's going to be at REMURF. That's good. I will see you there, my friend. And what else we got? Yeah, the heatsink integration is tight. Tight. Like a twigger, Alex. Yeah. Got a bunch of sticker on my tiny torch drive. Gonna need to use that in a second. All right, there we go. 6. Lay out some more screws here. So is building in parallel, is this parallel? Yes. Building in parallel like this, is it faster? Yes. Is it faster when you do it and you stream and you talk at the same time? Probably. Definitely not as fast. But it's funner, which yes is a word. I will allow it. Alrighty. Good. All right, I'm gonna move you little guys out of the way. Don't need you quite yet, but we will soon enough. All right, so let's go to the close in. Here, not that one, that one. Get you guys out of your baggies and then we'll. Very careful. So you'll see even the tiny little PCB here for this this Hall sensor was made in-house on the SMT line. That is the advantage of having your own SMT line. You get to build all the bits and bobs. There was a lot of money and time and investment that went into building out that SMT line so that they were less dependent on suppliers, which obviously burned a lot of people during COVID especially. And Prusa said, no more, we are doing our own. And I've got a lot of respect for that. That's not an easy decision. An SMT line and finding talented operators and all the equipment you need to do that correctly, that is not cheap, that is not easy. But cheap and easy are not the things that Prusa is necessarily known for. I think focusing on trying to be independent as you can is certainly admirable, but those are the things, you know, when you take criticism that you're not iterating as fast. Well, yeah, I don't think they get a lot of credit for the fact that they're having to build these systems that maybe a lot of their competitors didn't even have to worry about because they just farm it out to somebody else at the potential cost of quality control or some other thing. So, but not here to opine on that right now. Actually, I just did, technically. Good, Cookie. Yes, you definitely should get to Prague at some point if you can. It is a really, really cool city. It is, I think everybody I've talked to that has gone to the Prusa factory seems to echo that it's just way more than they thought it would be. I'm not sure why, but they're closing in on 1,000 employees. They have quite a few buildings at this point for various parts of their production. And it's quite an operation. And then that's not even including like the filament lines, which is getting a big upgrade, and there's a lot of change, a lot of cool stuff in the works. Things are happening, and I suspect what we know them to be in, say, the next 5 years is certainly going to look even more different. I'm very excited. I've been a long time friend of Joe Prusa's and fan of the company, and I am just stoked to see it grow and continue to succeed. So think what you will about the competitive state of the market. I think anybody that goes and visits and sees firsthand what's going on can start to get a sense of the size and the context that we're dealing with. All right, let's do, let's see, no, that's not hooked up yet. Let's see, stream angle. Oh, that's fun. There's my refrigerator. I didn't even know I had that one hooked up. Okay, next step. I should get my screen share. We're gonna edit this. You guys look at this, is how nice and unprepared I am. Let's see, window capture. We want to window capture the Nextruder assembly Google Chrome window, which is, which one of these? Not that one, not that one. Not that one. Menu bar. No. 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 No, that's the chat. Huh. It's not giving me that window as a choice for some reason. Oh well, I guess we won't do the screen share on that. That's okay, you don't need to see that. Thanks for playing anyway. All right. I will just read it. So we're gonna put the filament sensor in next. That is the tiny, tiny, tiny bits. Something my fat fingers sometimes struggle with. Let's get in close so you can see this. So we're gonna move a couple of you guys out of the way. Put you here. We're gonna switch to this view. All right, and we're gonna get these little guys out here. So we've got an injection molded part here coming up that is actually molded in-house. This is a little, I'm gonna guess this is polycarbonate or ABS. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a little plastic piece, a lot of fine details, and we need that, and we need our baggie of screws here. Okay, so this has got a couple springs and a couple other bits. Oh, that's the ball we need. Oh, don't go away. This is what I'm talking about. Fat fingers. Ah! Oh, hold on. Put the spacer down. Watching me chase a bearing around the screen is always a fun thing. So we're gonna have this tiny spring. We are gonna do this bearing. I'm not letting this bearing go because that wasn't very fun chasing that thing around. And I got those I don't need right now. I need my tiny magnets, which are right here. Look at these tiny magnets. Got that guy, got that. Yeah, tiny hardware is tiny. That's a direct quote. It's a direct quote. Now, here is the nice thing about this little magnet setup. Once you put your magnet on it, so I'm gonna put my extra, give you an extra one because if it's tiny, you're probably gonna lose it. So now I've stuck it to a magnet. So this is actually gonna stick to the end of the spring. Yay, magnets! Like that. Let's see if you can see that. And then it's gonna slide into our plastic assembly here, like so. Big fingers, big fingers. There we go. There's a little part at the end. It just slides in like that. And there's a little fin here on the top of it. Put it down there so you can see it. And then that whole thing, when we flip over this guy, is gonna go right in here. And the ball bearing is gonna go right up against the filament path. And we just press it in with the fin part down. We're a little cattywampus here, what's happening. Started to press it in a touch crooked. I'm gonna grab some needle nose. Again, they provide you with all these tools. Just pull you backwards a touch, make sure that's in there. Okay, good, there we go. I'm not gonna damage anything, so we'll just go slowly and surely. So we're gonna push it in there, and we've noted the orientation is correct. I'm just reading through the guides. We've pressed it in, and it is into the heatsink, and make sure the ball is flush to the metal heatsink. So it is flush. I'm feeling on the top, that is flush. And if I look down the barrel here, so I show you that, you probably can't see that, but basically that ball bearing is sitting right there. So when the filament goes in, it moves that whole assembly back and triggers the Hall sensor. So that's how the filament sensor works in this guy. And now we do that process 5 more times. You cannot accuse me of not being thorough. If you want details on how this assembly goes, you get to see the whole shebang multiple times. Who doesn't think that's fun? All right, I'll pop back after that so we can chat a little bit more, look at some of this. Randy, gonna be at Rocky Mountain. I've got a crisp high five waiting for you, my friend. If you guys hadn't seen too, if you want to try your hand at Nerd Trivia, we're doing round 2 at Rocky Mountain. We did a Nerd Trivia produced by Mr. Joel Telling at the Emerald City Comic Con in February. which was, geez, 2 months ago. Well, technically it was like end of February, beginning of March. But yeah, that was actually his brainchild, just because Joel is a genius, brilliant man. And it's a fun, I think it's gonna be a fun little tradition. So the content team seemed to enjoy it, and we're gonna do more of them. And I think this time, we're gonna try to sweeten the pot on the rewards. So I had a couple bucks on me. I'm like, well, you know, we gotta motivate people, because, you know, $1 is very motivating to a lot of people. But I'm hoping we can talk Joe into let me do Prusa bucks, which maybe we can exchange for some goodies on the store, sweeten the pot a little. But it's gonna be a tough question. It's gonna really test your nerd knowledge, guys. What do you think I'm gonna ask? Who knows? Who knows? Just wanna take a moment to gripe about the fact that they put all the parts I need for this step in this bag, except for this piece, which is in a whole nother bag. I want all my parts in the same bag that I need, but I understand that that's not necessarily practical all the time. But I can still complain about it, because that's what I do. There we go. Oh, look at how much easier that was. I just got that one in. See, the next few will go very quickly. Not mixing up parts. Bar magnets. Moving on to You know what I should do? I'll get my little spacer. Let's see, and that spacer is the 5x10x0.1. Put those in there, so we're not mis-sorting stuff. All right, so here's a fun trick. It's like the old page turner trick. We got a tiny, tiny thing. If you lick your finger, and it's good for your immune system as well. Lick it and stick it to pick it. You heard it here first. Lick it and stick it to pick it. It doesn't sound good, I know, but it works. All right, Aaron's in. Trivia, we like a lot of trivia fans, apparently. The last question wasn't that tough, man. Come on, how many in the chat know the Konami code? I was a little disappointed in that. I mean, I feel like that's just, and maybe I'm dating myself, but that's fine. I mean, that was just such a core piece of my upbringing, man. Playing that Contra, playing those Konami games, getting the 30 live code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start or BA select start if you're doing 2-player. That is an essential piece of nerd knowledge in my book. But I don't know. I mean, we could go with you know, some sci-fi, something from sci-fi, something from Doctor Who, Alex, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? No clues. The good news is there's just an endless supply of nerd trivia out there, because there's so many nerdy things. So many nerdy things. Yeah. Randy knows. Contra and Gradius. Gradius? Gradius? Potato? Which is it? Which is it? Okay, we're getting faster, but this isn't about speed building. If you came for speed build, you came to the wrong place. We do not speed build here, okay? We do with the speed that we want to do. Yes, I am a dad. Let's just make sure everybody's safe and happy. No urgent messages. That's fine. That's good. Okay, we get that bag. We get these magnets. We get that bag. We pull out the one plastic part. We put it over here. We take out do some more parts prep here while we can, right? Oh man, these are so tiny. Word to the wise, don't swallow your magnets, guys. Bad things happen if you swallow magnets. I suppose I could just like leave 2 out, right? And then I'll just keep my extras in the... Probably confuse myself with that move later, but so be it. So be it. That's the other thing I can do. I can just break down the, because I have bins for each of these things. Let's see, this has the pins. Could also do that, but let's just do that. Save you guys some time watching this. So I actually have already pulled out a lot of these things. So let me just make sure I'm stocked up for at least what I need for this, and then we can save some time. This was well worth doing. When you do as many of these as I've done, to create bins for each of these things and basically pre-sort everything. One, it's a nice Zen thing to do. And 2, it makes life a lot easier for future pooch, which past pooch is not always the nicest to, but future pooch appreciates it when he does think of him. 3x9 spring. Here, okay. That, I think the magnets then would be the only thing I need. Mm-hmm. Take a moment to jam a bit to the new sack. So back here on my little sortie trays, I've actually sorted the trays kind of by the steps, so I know at least so far like the vicinity. If I'm in an extruder, most of my bins are in that arena right there. For the most part, not always. Okay, springs, balls, magnets. I think I skipped an important part. Let's see. Some more magnets. Got a couple magnets. There's another magnet. And the injection molded piece is critical. Tom, you want me to get... I can put on the Poochicorn helmet. I got it right over there. It's actually one of my kids' favorite 3D printed games we play. I got Poochicorn ring toss. I could bring that to... Should I bring that to Rocky Mountain? That's good fun for the whole family. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I could put on the Poochicorn helmet. What do you do? You gotta ask nicely though, Mr. Llama. You'd like to see that, wouldn't you? There we go, there's another magnet. Magnets stick to magnets. That's how you know they're magnets. They also stick to ferrous metals. And that has been your science moment with Pooch. Magnets, how they work. Actually, you learned nothing about how they work. You just heard me just say the word magnets. Not helpful, really. I know. All right. Here we go. We are putting together the filament sensor sub-assemblies. I'll zoom back in so you can see here what we're doing. So I'm basically prepping so those 2 are done. 2, we've got 4 more to go. And those 2. Squeak. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. They don't really give you the phonetic spelling on the cartridge. Well, that's fun. Made like a little molecule of steel balls by dropping the magnet into the ball bearing bin. But it's a nice way to pick up all your tiny parts. That's actually a fun little pro tip. So if you grab your magnet first, we're learning. Look at this, guys. This is super exciting, right? So you grab your magnet first. Get it in your fat fingers. There we go. Okay, grab your magnet first. And then you get your little tray, and then you can dip in there and use the magnet to pick up the other tiny parts you need. Like that. Come over here, and then I pick up my steel ball. Look at that. He's learning. It's like my brain's like a neural net processor. Can be taught. I think that's all we need, right? 4, so we just need 2 more of those guys somewhere. These 2 are done. Let's get out of the way. Good, so we can put those away for now. And we're done with those 2. Clean your workspace as you go, everybody. That's another public service announcement for you. Let's see. We're gonna find 2 more of the. There's one injection molded holder parts for the filament sensor. So that's empty. Away you go. Be gone! Never learned to DJ the way Joe Prusa did. That guy can DJ. I don't know if you've seen. That's how this whole thing got started. We wouldn't be here. Well, I don't know if I'd probably be here because I love the tech. But if you didn't know that, Prusa got its start because Joe wanted to print cool knobbies for his mixer board for his DJ gigs. That is a true fact. It is not a alternative fact. That is a true fact. Okay, let's get in close here and do some more assembly. Magnets sticking together. All right. Just watch my finely manicured hands at work. Come on. Keep the magnets too close to each other, they cause you problems. Surprise, surprise. 1, 2, you stay there. Stay. Good boy. Let's see here. Try to take some of these apart. I let them. Don't let your magnet friends get too close to each other. 3, and 4. There we go. Get back in there. Okay, cool. All right, get this guy here. Flip you over. Artificial pooch intelligence. It's all artificial, man. It is all artificial. Actually, it's 100% natural, homegrown, artisanal intelligence. Organically grown in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains here in California. Lovely Auburn, California. Gold country. Birthplace of people who were born here. It's probably somebody famous born here, but I don't know. Like not too far from Donner Pass, where the Donner Party ate each other, so that's fun. You guys learning? I feel like you weren't prepared for all the education you were going to be getting. All right, we're moving on. We got our filament sensors in. Now we're going to start doing some idler assembly. For that, we're going to go to the old bin of printed parts. I'm going to move Mr. Power Drill out of the way. And let's see, if we're in next extruder step, we're going to be down here somewhere. No, actually, because they're tiny parts. Where did I put you guys? There we are. There we are. Ooh, these aren't labeled yet, but I'm gonna need a bunch of those. They're symmetrical, so we're gonna need 12. That's math. I got 8. I got, and then a little divider. Get on your side. Little divider popped up and stuff started sliding under. Don't you hate it when that happens? 10 and 12. There we go. Let's pull out. There we go. Back to your home. All right, we're also going to need, let's see, some bearings. We're gonna need some pins. Got my pins here. No, those are the long pins. No, pins are here. We're gonna need the bearings. A couple of these guys. See, these guys can move out of the way. A stack of them over here. Put those up there. All right, so we're gonna need a couple pins. We're gonna need some of these bearings here. That's these guys. Oh, lay down, lay down. Good boy. Yeah, Pooch likes to refer to himself in the third person all the time, so I'm basically talking to myself all day long, because you're really not getting anything out of the ordinary there, Randy. Nobody likes dead air, right? We just need some like quality color commentary of a man who talks to his 3D printer parts. Isn't having fun with that. There we go, there's some more bearings for you. And so we'll get these, put these tubes and spacers where they go while we're at it. Clean up as we go, right? Tube spacer. So as I break the bag apart, I'm just putting the extra little bits where they go. Again, is a nice little favor for Future Pooch. Future Pooch appreciates it when I do these things for him. We have a nice agreement. Past Pooch takes care of himself so that Future Pooch can continue to exist. That's why I went for a run this morning, even though nobody really likes running. Let's see, where's my pins? There's 64 of these things, so hunting for these is not always the most fun thing. Oh, wait, I already have them out here. Just come in, dummy, they're right in front of you. Hold on, we gotta get something really quick from the other room. This is important. Traveling. There we go. I'm back. I'm coming. Here we go. You guys can see. All right. This is the Poochicorn helmet that Tom Lama designed for me. I was referring to, but it also makes a really fun ring toss game. So if you get 2 of these, you can play like basically like cornhole or washers or whatever, where it's like you try to toss on your teammates, or you can try to get it on your own. Look at that. First try. First try. Did you see that? Somebody, that was for you, Llama. I hope you appreciated that. I just nailed that. I went full send. So anyway, Poochicorn. I think it's on printables. Isn't it? Did it ever make it up on printables, Llama? It should. It's a fun game. Fun game. Let's see, well-trained bearing. Yeah, Poochicorn, yeah. That was like, I think that with the V1 or the V2, there's a V3 that's like a multicolor like unicorn that's amazing. That's at the shop right now on my display case in the bathroom, which is the only place I had for a display case. But you know, it's nice. It's I think people appreciate that when they're in the loo, having, you know, fun little prints to look at, right? Would you appreciate that? Let me know in the chat if you would appreciate that. Just breaking apart the bits and the bobs. At least for what we need as we go. I'm not going to do all of it at once just for the stuff we need. So we're getting the bearings out, we're getting the pins out, and then we also need some M36s, which are my least favorite M3 size. I don't know if you knew that, but I've got some right here. There's some M36s. I'm not gonna, I'll save that story for another time. Make you wonder. Who said the M36 is his least favorite screw, but I have no idea why that would be. You may never know. It just is, guys. Why do you have to question everything? All right. I think that should be good for now. We need a couple more bearings though. I didn't have the bearings pre-sorted. I obviously need a bin. There's a couple more bins I have. So surprise, surprise, even with 64 spaces in there, I don't have all the bins quite yet because I don't have my bearings. I need a printed part bin for my my ASA fan shroud. So I'll need a bin for that. Stop that. Stop rolling. There we go. Ill-tempered, bad behaving tiny bearings. So those bearings, so that's the extent of the idler assembly on these neck extruders. They are, they're just these little wheels. Here, getting close here. Come in here. Look at this. So basically 2 of these little guys are gonna sit on, if you look at it, you got a nice section view of what's happening on the idler side. So on the neck extruder, we've got this fantastic orbital gear. And so we've got one big chewy teethy side, oops, my finger's out of the way, right here. And then those press on the 2 idler wheels like so, around here. And then the extruder and the orbital, you get nice and torquey, that orbital gear, similar to what you would see if you took apart your, you know, like your drill or something. So that's kind of a peek at what's going on with neck extruder. All right, back in the pile with Yiz. Tom says laughing helps you poop. Usually I'm crying, so maybe I need to change up my diet or something, Llama. Are you laughing a lot while you're pooping? It's like, I feel like maintaining control is kind of a critical part of that process, but we don't need to get too crass here. But maybe I'm just not laughing enough in the bathroom. I don't know. I had never heard that before, but it's funny. All right, do we have 12? Not quite yet. I think this is the last ones. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. All right, we'll put our extra stuff in there, and then these guys can go away because we do not need them quite just yet. I'll just put them over here though because we will need them shortly. And don't call me shortly. M36, guessing Voron nightmares. Maybe? I don't know, I thought my Voron experience was pretty good, but I was lucky enough to have like the creator of the Trident with me. basically like helping the whole process along. So it was, I would say it was a rather pleasant thing, but I don't think most people get a Steve Builds with them when they're doing a Trident build. But the Trident is the only one that I've built so far. And it was a fun stream. We had a good time. All right, have a good dinner. Good to see you, Tom. Glad we got some Poochicorn helmet out for you. That was a fun little blast from the past. All right, so we're putting together the idler. That's what's happening here. So it says we're gonna start by basically, gonna get in close here. We're basically putting a pin, a shaft, in each of the bearing arbors. You thought I was gonna say hole, didn't you? No, I didn't. I said arbor. Bearing center. Is it called the arbor in the inside of a bearing? I mean, that sounds like it should be allowed. You know, like some of these look like they've been semi-magnetized from being in proximity to all those magnets here. You guys can come back here. Making a fine little forest of bearings with pin centers, with chewy, not so chewy steel pin centers. And we've done that. Look at that. We just knocked all those bearings out. All right, what's next? Let's see. Really should get this screen share thing figured out. I don't know why it wasn't letting me pick that. OBS didn't like that window. I wonder if I can like create a new window. I feel like that would add some nice context for you guys. So if I add a new tab and I put it on that screen. I've lost my mouse again. Too many screens. Here we go. I wonder if that would do it. Let's see. We'll copy that, and then we're gonna paste it into this browser window here. And then we're gonna, oh, I should have done paste and go. Oh, sorry, here, enter. All right, and then if we screen share and we change the screen capture window to it's just not sorted that way? Google Drive, man, there's so many window choices here. All my Chrome ones. Huh. Oh, wait, there's another Chrome. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I don't know why I put it up there. Let's see, which one is it? Is it this one? Is it you? No. Yeah, it is you. Oh, okay. All right. So we didn't need that extra window after all. All right. Look, and I'm still here. I'm in the corner. So let's close that. Oh, it put me, I'm hiding over here in the corner. Oh, it's because it's not maximized. Watch this, watch this. We do that. I feel like this is just more than you guys all bargained. But there we go. Look at that. And I'm still here in the corner. So if you need to look at me, you can. Thank you. I appreciate it. Trident is best and easiest Voron. Yeah, that's probably why Steve recommended it. I mean, he knew who he was dealing with. All right, so, no, this way. So if you look over here, this gesture up here, we're working on this extruder idler part right here. Did we just up our production value gain? I think so. So we're putting it together. It's gonna look like this. Yeah, as you can see, look at that. You can see exactly what I'm doing now. Like you care. So we're just gonna make a bunch of these. So that's my dreaded M36 here. Then I've got this little hollow spacer. So we can get those back over here. Switch to this angle. So we got those guys here. We're all tapped on pins for the moment, but we don't need any more of those, so we'll just put that back in there. And we got our printed parts. So the order of operations, let's see here, that's the one. Screen share, pooch cam, huh, that's weird. This cam? That's not the right cam, it's fine. All right, so we're gonna make them look like that. I got here, and then I'm gonna put one of those in there, and I'm gonna put one of those in there. Right. Okay, so have I done that? Done that? Yeah, that looks like that step. Good, okay, we're gonna do that a few more times. And then we're gonna count. Count on count counts. 2, 3, Whoa. 4, Oh, too far forward, there we go. This seems to be the sweet spot. Oh, you're the other side. Wait a minute, these are not symmetrical. 4, did I just get lucky and get together? These are the other sides. Hold on, I'll put those over there. You're there, you're there. Side note, who's excited for Project Hail Mary to become a movie? I don't know if you saw Joel's post the other day, but he knows I've been trying to get him to read that book forever, but Joel doesn't like to read books. And I'm like, but this one's really worth it, man. You should totally read that book. And he says, maybe. Wait a minute, how did I end up with... I ended up with too many rights and not enough lefts. Something, or lefts and not enough rights. This is why I like symmetrical parts. So you don't have to make these types of tough decisions. There we go. It's okay, we have extra. All right, 6, very good. All right, back to that. And that printed part in this photo looks a little rough, don't you think? It's a little rough, guys. A nicer print than this. Sure. I know, I'm just being a jerk, being critical. All right, we're gonna close up our sandwiches. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite, but I mean, The Martian is like one of my all-time favorite books. And you know, I celebrate Weir's entire catalog. He's a Cali native as well. I think he lives in San Francisco. One of my claims to fame is he responded to one of my tweets, which made my day. Absolutely made my day. But yeah, they got they got old Ryan Gosling as the protagonist. And I'm dying to know how they cast the alien. I mean, clearly it's gonna be CG, but that's gonna be an interesting challenge. Rocky, to see how they do Rocky. The crazy spider, ammonia-breathing spider alien. With vents. It's a good book. That's part of my book club recommendation. You guys gotta go read that. All right, these kind of hurts to press in with your bare fingers, but luckily I have decades of numbing my my fingertips by nerve damage, so I just don't feel really much of anything, either physically or emotionally, when I'm doing this. So there you go. All right, cool. Look at that. Okay, we got that, and I think we just need to add our M3 Sixers. The Sixers, that's another good book if you've ever read Ready Player One. I enjoyed that quite a bit. The movie was aight. The movie was just aight for me, but the kids like it. I enjoyed it, I guess. enough. Get the old bondus. Let's get in here and do some setting of screws. Phrasing. Look at how I'm dodging those phrases, you know. You thought I was gonna say it again, but I didn't. Let's see. The Cinzia, one of your favorite things to do up there in the Northeast US is to go out on the boat and read in the sunshine and the water. I would totally do that if I had a boat or sunshine. Just a little bit, actually the sun's out now, but it's kind of like little rain, little sun today. I live around a lake. I do not own a boat. I have a lot of friends with boats, which is a lot easier, which I'm sure Cinzia will vouch to. Being the friend with the boat, probably once he's got all his buddies asking him, hey, let me go out on the boat with you. And then they ruin your sunshine reading moments, so. But I've got some paddle boards. I'm gonna get a kayak this year. Slowly, you know, not trying to acquire too many things, but I've been building a little rack to hold all my lake appurtenances. And I like kayaking, I like paddle boarding. I like boating too. But I could paddle out and read. I got my dry bag. That's kind of that'd be a kind of a cool way to do it, right? Go out and lay on the paddleboard and just like read. I could be into that. All right, and what do you think? I think we're looking just like the photo. Let's see. Now it says we got to bias it to one side. Which, let's go back here. So if I just do that and I press down on each of these, that should basically bias them to the side as it is indicated in the image. Maybe I biased to the wrong side. We're gonna find out in a second. We're gonna find out in just a second. All right, moving on. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Keep that page just scrolling. Boy, my finger's swollen. Hide. Little pitchy. Okay. I'm gonna prep some other printed parts. Get my little calibration printed tool out. That's gonna go here. And we need some of these guys. It's going back to the old bins sorting. I haven't put the labels with the pictures on the outside yet, so we're just doing a little hunty hunt. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. Put those all down in there. Got a bunch of those and a bunch of those. And we've got our alignment tool, but I only need one of those. And then we're gonna get our orbital gears. Make this pretty for you guys. So that's what we do. It's the service I provide. There we go. Here. All right, 6 of those. 6 of those. Tool. Add some orbitals. That's 6, and our nice little brass pieces. Keep them bagged so they stay shiny. I don't know if they're actually brass. They look like they're brass. Probably maybe some kind of alloy. What does it refer to them? It refers to them as the PG ring, the planetary gear ring, which is this nice golden color to it. Bondus or Bondos? Bondhos? The Hoss? I say Bondus. You could say bondeuse. I should pick something completely obnoxious that nobody says, like bondeuse. Like deuce. Like you're bonding deuces, which would make for a 4. There we go. That's all of our stuff. Slightly off center to just really trigger you guys. And there, look at that. That's all our bits. That's all our bits. Let's go back here. Look at that. We have the parts. Oh, and it's time for our steppers. Let's put the steppers over here. Just put my steppers back here. Just right there, like that. All right. Cool. Let's look at all the bits. They say extruder, so I'm looking at the... Make sure it says extruder, but it's pretty obvious that it's the only geared extruder that's in there. But yes, it does say... It does say extruder. Ooh, like some Debbie Gibson or something just popped on. Some Debbie Gibson wannabe. Okay, we need, for this step, we need some M325s. Those are very nice length of M3 socket head. I do enjoy me an M325. Also, in the 25 millimeter category, we've got it's a set screw. I don't know if it's a grub. What's the distinction between a set screw and a grub screw, guys? Look at this. This thing and this thing here. So I'm calling these set screws. So they basically have the no top, and then you like have the tip. Getting close here. But yeah, what makes it a grub screw versus a set screw, or are they just the same? Is it just potato? Let me know. Maybe there's a distinction. And it says we're gonna need some lubricant. Lubricant. We use lubricant because we're positive here. We do not believe in lubricant. We believe in lubricant. Got my lubricant here. I should probably grab some extra. You know what, when we're ready to get to that, I'll grab some rags, some paper towels probably. Like that on that, that's fine. That's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Mike would call it a set screw. Grub screws are what Nero 3D chews on. Nero does, his diet consists of grub screws and regret mostly. But I look forward to seeing Nero, Tanner next week at the Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. And you too can see him with his extra small, light streaming and recording setup. Sponsored, not sponsored by DJI. The only difference is the spelling, says Aaron. You're a funny guy, Aaron. They are the same to additive Adam. Bondhoose. Cookie says Bondhoose. Bondhoose. Okay, sure. You call it whatever you want, Cookie. All right. Oh, this is the part where we get to put the spacers. Say it with me, everybody. Spacers! Okay, we're gonna put the spacers on the steppers. So I just put my spacers over here. So I have a little bucket of spacers, and these are tricky to pick up. So I'm gonna use my my lick it, stick it, pick it trick. There we go. I missed. Probably getting all my essential lubricants into my system now. Pick, stick, done. Here, lick it, pick it, stick it. I know, somebody's gonna freak out that I keep saying this. It's the right amount of spit. I'm sure I'm like, find out I have corrosion inside my extruders because I've got this amount of, a non-zero amount of spittle on each of these, which is not sanctioned exactly by the build guide, but I do what I want. Okay, good, we've done that. Got those there. There we go. Oh, look at all these. Okay, let's move some things out of the way so I can at least have some staging here for the A-cam. Okay, here we go. All right, so I got all my spacers on my extruders. Spacers! I can't not do it, guys. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right, not that one, that one. All right, we've got the spacers on. Now we're gonna mount. Oh, it's exciting. We're merging things. Things are merging together. All right, so we're making sure that here, the wire for the extruder is at the top, and we've got the 4 holes lined up, which we do. Done with the spacers, so those go back over there. And then we're going to grab this printed part, this guy right here, and we're aligning this notch right here to the bottom left corner if you're me and you're looking down from on top. We've done that, and before proceeding to the next step, we're going to make ssure that the 5x10x1 spacer is placed on the extruder motor. It is. They really want to make sure you got that spacer on there. That is critical. Mission critical. Okay, we're gonna assemble the planetary gear ring next. So we're gonna get we're starting to put the gearbox together. So here, so part of the printed parts is a tool, comes with it, for aligning, because the teeth are so fine, the pitch on these teeth are so fine, getting this centered in our ring can be a sneaky ordeal. Tricky ordeal, let's just say. And then, also of note, there is a chamfered side and a non-chamfered side of our planetary gear ring. So, they are very specific to tell us that they do not want us to put this together, and you should not put this together without the tool, the printed tool. And you can see what we're doing here. We're gonna align it as such so that the chamfer side is facing down to the PG assembly. So if I'm looking at this, and there's a whole video for this because they want to make sure that everybody's doing this right. So if we're looking at the chamfer side, the chamfered side is down. Double checking this because I feel like I always mess this up. So I'm looking at this. Cut back to here. You're seeing the underside. And as I'm just air doing it here for a second just to look at it, but I'll do the proper assembly process, but this should give you guys a good look at it here as it rotates inside the ring. And this would be the down side. So I'm gonna move over one of these dudes. And we're just wiggling until we can get it to sink onto that shaft. Just there we go. Just dropped on. And I can actually feel it turning. Got the holes lining up. Let's give you a look before we bolt it together. Just double checking here. Chamfered side is down. Yep. Okay, I've triple checked it. I'm confident the right side is down the way it was instructed to. Let's see, and everything is meshed together. We've pressed it on back into here, you can see, and I can rotate it, and I'm ready to take off that guy. So that is a look at our planetary gear assembly. Now we just got to do that 6 more times. I think before I do that, though, I'm gonna put a fastener in there. Let's finish putting that part together. So we've slid in our, show you from here. So basically, there's a notch in the printed part. I've slid my idler in. And then I'm going to put it in place. Doesn't have any bolting. Oh yeah, it does, the set screw. Yeah, and then we're gonna put in that 25mm set screw, and that should at least orient everything and hold everything in place. And I've got my, nope, that's even too big. I need a smaller Bondhoos. Here's my tiny Bondhoos. That is not it either. I need the tiniest Bondhoos, which I have right here. Aha, 3rd time's a charm. And I'm just gonna set that as far as it goes, right there. And it's supposed to stick up, that is normal. And then we're gonna put the cover on it. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna add our spacer right here. So you can see it better. Press, click, and it's very satisfying. If you printed your part, that's a great tolerance check right there. That spacer is seated properly. And now, the side that doesn't have the hole, I'm gonna lay on top of that. And guess what? I'm ready to put my 25mm screws in here. My big Bondhoos, and I'm not gonna crank it down all the way. I'm just tightening it so it holds everything in place, but there's actually an alignment that you do during the self-test that makes sure that this is oriented correctly. So that's it. We're gonna say that's one of them, and I'm gonna do that 6 other times. Get ready. Get some more spacers out. Five more spacers inside of there. I like that I got the white one. So yours might be black. The color doesn't matter. They're just a nylon spacer. Press fit. Come on, that one doesn't want to sync. Oh, there's a little flashing on that. There it is. There's a little bit of flashing on that nylon spacer there. Check the chat. Who doesn't love Ivan? I am super excited, guys. There's a strong rumor. I don't want to spoil it. There's a strong rumor he may be an event, and I'm sorry, it is not in the States, coming up. I have yet to meet Ivan Miranda in person. I have interacted with him quite a bit online. I'm very excited to actually get to meet him in person. That's been on my bucket list for a long time. He is just a prolific, terrific maker, and I celebrate everything he does. And I have nothing but respect and love and admiration for the dude. So I'm super stoked to get to meet Ivan in the coming months, we'll say. And I will leave any announcements to him because it's his news to deliver when he is ready. Making sure that it happens because I know he has a busy family schedule and life schedule. Hey, Brandon. Good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you got to make a couple of the streams lately. It's good to have you with us. Good friend Brandon Langdon. I've known Brandon a long time. It's a good Friday for a little chill and chat and stream, and we've been doing all of those things. Let's see, do I have any tea? I might have to make some more tea. I love a good afternoon tea. I mean, I know that's controversial for a lot of people, but I think that's one of the things, it's one of the few things the Brits do right. Shots fired. All right, let's set a couple of more of these in place. So I'm gonna go back through this really quick. We're putting our planetary gear assembly in the guide, and then we just promptly throw it out again. That's fine. There we go. We're grabbing our extruder. Let's see, I feel like I could probably arrange this a little nicer so that I can do some close-in building.
Can you say that again?
And somehow I triggered my Alexa right there. I don't know what I changed my trigger word to the C word. Because I'm a big Star Trek fan and because she was getting triggered too much from people referring to her by name. So Alexa no longer triggers her. You have to say the C word. Ha. Yes, the C word. I'm not gonna say it, but it starts with the C and it ends with an R. And it's the same thing that Picard would always say to hail the intelligence system on the Enterprise. That's not the nerd trivia, guys. Sorry to disappoint you. That's just way too easy. Can't be that easy. All right, just getting this guy set into the gearing. One of the more finesse operations, but it's not that hard. Get my printed part laid on top. I've got my spacer on there, which it mentions like no less than 32 times to make sure. Probably because people very frequently miss that. All right, that's seated on there quite nicely. I'm gonna grab my set screw, my 25 millimeter. It's a long set screw. Actually, I'm gonna grab the idler first. I'm gonna slide that in over here from the side so you guys can see. Getting better at my visuals, making sure that people can see things as they're happening. I've got my tiny Bondhouse. Set that in there. Check my action. Flip, 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 flip. Yep, we're flipping. And I'm gonna take, let's see, we're rotating. That guy feels nice and smooth. I'm gonna take that out. We're gonna get one of the covers that we've pressed our spacers onto. And we're gonna lay that on there. And I'm gonna set 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 25mm socket head screws. Bingo bango. Bob's your uncle. And you know what? I'm tired of doing this manually. I've got my zippy. I'm gonna use Mr. Makita lowest torque setting, and I'm just gonna. I don't have my overhead set up at the shop. I've got a nice little overhead adjustable torque assembly station that I could use for this. They don't recommend power tools. If you are new to this, I don't either. If you're doing it one time, I don't either. But when you're doing a bunch of them and you're a semi-professional like me, then I allow it. That's the rules. I'm sorry, I didn't make them. Yes, I did. I did make the rules. I made that rule. Okay. Got my beveled side down. I still don't quite follow the assembly logic that they show in here. With the beveled side exactly, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, I got my gear ring rotating. That's nice. Okay, and I've got another extruder, and I'm gonna grab my load cell and I'm gonna lay that on top with the wire for the extruder up. I'm gonna grab the printed part with my notch alignment facing toward me right now. And then I'm gonna grab my planetary gear assembly. I'm gonna find the shaft. I'm gonna rotate until I can get this to land on top of the shaft properly. Come on, find your home. Sometimes it goes right on, there we go. There we go, and we're rotating. That's good. And we're gonna grab a set screw. I'm gonna put the set screw and the idler, slide the idler in, set screw through. Yep. Tiny bondus. Ivan is a gem. Ivan is a national treasure of Spain. Love me some Ivan Miranda. Can't get enough of that Ivan Miranda fellow. Okay. Dirty water. Dirty water. I'll lay that on there. One, 2, and 3. Zip, zip. I'm not tightening all the way. I'm not even coming close because there is a calibration process that we do when we do the self-check. 3 down, 3 to go. Back at it again. Boy, does this ever get old? No way. Imagine the fact that I have to do this another, what, 14 times I think I have left? It's a lot. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. I'll tell you, after doing that 3.5, I really enjoyed the 3.5. Checking this. That is the non-beveled side will be left facing upward. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna finish this step out and then we're gonna stop it. So once I have these extruders together, I'm gonna have to stop because I gotta go pick up kids, but we're almost there. I'm gonna zip through this last little bitty boy. think that's gonna be a good stopping point for us for today. Look at that one, just dropped right in. So sometimes you just get lucky and those teeth just line up, and we're rotating and that feels good. We're gonna put the idler in here. 25 millimeter set screw, grub screw, call it what you will. Give it a little spin of the bondus. There goes the bondus. Gonna have to get that because I do not have a spare. Oh, look, it got lucky and it rolled back to me. That never happens. Must be my lucky day. Okay, got that. And pull that out of there, and we plop that guy on there. We check our idler. Our idler is good. 1, 2. You know who amazes me, guys? You know who amazes me with assembly work and streaming is Joseph Kasha. That dude is so fast, and he's talking the entire time. And I mean, he's got that multitasking talent that is just unparalleled. Joe Kasha, if you ever watch one of his streams, man, he is just a stream machine and a building machine and like a multitasking machine. It's the multitasker, Mr. Joe Kasha. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's 3D Maker noob. Was Breaks and Makes, then I think he went back to the noob. He's whatever you want to call him. He's a good dude. I highly recommend. Go check out his channel if you haven't seen it. I think most of you guys know who he is. And if you're not subscribed, then shame on you. Shame on you, I say. Speaking of, I feel obliged to make Mike remind everybody that they should smash that like button and subscribe and bring a friend. And if you like this kind of content, and if you like hanging out and chatting, and if you ever want to hop on and stream alongside me, perhaps we can do some of that sometime. But yeah, calls to action. It's call to action time. Action Jackson. Let's see, now I've done it. I let the gear ring slip off, and now I've got to redo the teeth alignment. Grrr. Come on. I think the trick is making sure you're just going in not cattywampus, just trying to get as straight up and down as you can when you drop it. Come on. No whammies, no whammies. Partial. There it is. Click. Getting better. Getting better. Idler. Idler leg is in. 25 mil. Set. And we go. I know, man. Wooden 3D printers, gatherings. Additive Adam, if you like to stream, you want to co-stream? Sure, we can set something up, I'm sure. It's always fun to build together. I wish I got to do more of it. You know, as schedules allow, sometimes when I'm here, if it's stuff, I mean, I figure I'm building anyway, I would greatly prefer to be building with a friend when I can. Easy enough to do. Easy enough to do. Back to the manual. That's all right. That's good. 5, and we're on our last one. Here we go. Extruder up. That way. Printed part. Speed round. Speed round. Here we go. Tool onto planetary gear. Beveled side facing downward. Mesh. Oh, no, no, I was cattywampus. I told you not to be cattywampus, and I didn't even listen to myself. There we go. Now we're in, and then we're gonna drop it like it's hot right onto that extruder. We're spinning, we're landed, we remove that, we put the idler in, we drop in the 25 mil set screw the correct way with the tip down. Check that, that's good. Tighten the set screw till we cannot anymore, that's fine. Put the lid on with the set screw corner covered. And 1, 2, and 3. And we just make sure they're on, but we're not tightening, again, because we will calibrate all of that in a future step. That's it. I'm gonna change back to this angle, and we'll get you guys a nice look at what we've done, accomplished today. So that's the bulk of it. Now, unfortunately, I've got to go pick up my daughters, so I think this is a good place to call it. So what I need to do before it gets mounted, just to give you a sense of what's next, is there's a little spring clip. The clip, we're going to attach that. So look, you can see what's coming up the next time I do this. I don't know if I'll stream this or not, but we got a couple more steps. We didn't quite get all the way through this component today, but we'll get all the way to the fan and the mounting, hopefully in the very near future. Probably finish that up tonight. Who knows? Maybe I'll even stream it. You never know. You never know. But with that, I'm gonna leave you guys. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Thank you guys in the chat. I appreciate all the commentary, all the company that everybody's kept. It's been so much fun. It's always a pleasure to do this with other people, and you guys help keep me motivated to keep moving on these projects. I know I spent half of the time just moving everything around, but I'm happy with the progress. I'm gonna go pick up my kids and kind of leave stuff, and maybe I'll jump back on later if you're around and you want to join, and I do, cool. If not, everybody, happy Friday, happy weekend. For those of you that are going to be at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival, if you're going to be at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival next week, I will be there Friday night through Monday. I hope we have a chance to connect, high five, say hi, do some nerd trivia if you're up for it, and it should be good. So until then, happy weekend, everybody. I'll catch you soon.